Hey guys, and welcome to another video. It's just before 5 now. I've just pulled up to the gym. I'm going to get a session for myself in before I train 3 clients this morning and then head out to the shop, so I'll take you along with me. The music will be pumping in the gym, so it's most likely going to be a time lapse, but we're going to train some back. We got an hour. Let's go.
She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. She like to clap for a nigga. She do it back for a nigga. Yeah, she do it back for a nigga. Like a mirror, like a mirror. Billie Jean, Billie Jean. Pushing Dior, Dior. I'm up in all the stores. When it rains, it pours. She like the way I Billie Jean, Billie Jean. Pushing Dior, Dior. I'm up in all the stores. When it rains, it pours. She like the way I She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I woo. She like to clap for a nigga. She do it back for a nigga. Yeah, she do it back for a nigga. Like a mirror, like a mirror. Billie Jean, Billie Jean. Pushing Dior, Dior. I'm up in all the stores. When it rains, it pours. She like the way I
Well, that's the back and buys workout done. Didn't really push the envelope that hard on that workout. I just feel like you can't redline every workout, especially if you're doing 2 a days. Like today I'll end up training again of an afternoon, so it was kind of come in, get a pump, move some 80% of my regular loads, focusing more on the eccentric control of each movement, and just getting a reasonably good workout in before I now go and train clients. I've got 3 back-to-back. I'll be boxing for every single one of them, so holding pads. So I guess that's some post-workout cardio, and we'll see when we get to the shop. So one thing that I've started to implement a little bit more, which was a 2022 goal of mine, and I decided I'll just start getting back into it now, is meditating. And in lockdown, I was doing it every day because I wasn't doing as many clients in the morning, and I just found that I had all this extra time and all these books that I've read and podcasts I've listened to, people have recommended doing it, and I just found that I felt way less anxious and less scattered and more focused. And then once kind of everything went back to normal and I picked up my normal workload, I just found that I started to feel more anxious and more scattered and less focused, and so it was a sign to me that I needed to keep implementing this in my life. So rather than waiting till next year, it's something that I've started to implement now. So I normally get to the shop with half an hour to spare. I'll put what I'm gonna eat in the air fryer, so I'll put some salmon and stuff in there now, so that'll prep. And when I first started to try and meditate, kind of didn't really know how to do it right. People just assume, I guess, that you sit here in silence or whatever, but I feel it's a skill that you've got to build upon. So instead, I use the Calm app. I know there's a few different ones that you can utilize, but I use Calm, and it's a 9-10 minute track, which is nothing. And I'll sit here and I just find that helps me center my focus on something and have someone kind of walk you through it. So I'll pretty much utilize that for 10, and then I'll head back into the shop. But definitely recommend implementing meditation where you can, if you feel it would be something that's beneficial for you. So when it comes to I guess majority of the content on this channel, it's going to be all about physical health and the actions that we can take to improve our physical health through means of nutrition and exercise, and obviously all of that stuff does have a positive impact on our mental and emotional health too. But I definitely feel one thing that gets blindsided a little bit, or maybe people don't place enough emphasis on, is like, what actions are you taking to help with your mental and emotional health? And I feel like for me, I've like implemented things that are obviously like super mainstream and you've probably like heard them a million times, but it actually really does help. And that is things like journaling and writing down things you're grateful for, or talking to a loved one about things that you're grateful for. Meditation, which I have implemented previously, I kind of let that slip and then felt the effects of that. So making sure I add that back in, but just taking action is something that is super important, because I feel like with your mental and emotional health, people just think like talking to people helps, but a lot of the time talking to people can help, but it isn't the solution. Like, there has to be daily practices, things that you're doing consistently all the time to actually make a difference. And yes, talking to people helps, and always talk to people and articulate yourself if that person is willing to listen and open to listen. But definitely finding some daily practices to help will be good for you. I don't know entirely where I was going. I'm just kind of like, I guess, passing on a bit of my own experience with implementing these things, and they've had a huge benefit to me. And yeah, I think once again, all the content will be generally about physical health, but I feel like it's important to touch on things like this as well. But yeah, thanks for listening to my little rant. I need to start packing orders, because there's still a bunch of stuff to pack for Boxing Day. I'm only about halfway through it, so I will get into that. I'm having my pre-workout meal now, which is literally just like the Emerald Labs protein cream and like blueberries, the seriously organic blueberries from Coles. Best ones by far, if they're on special, because they're just dumb expensive otherwise. But I'm going to go head into the Performance Center to do a workout this afternoon. Today, I didn't obviously film much because I had so much stuff to do. I didn't think that if I vlogged what I was doing, just back end stuff, but I just feel like I probably wouldn't have got what I got done, but I did. And once again, I owe it to I don't know what it is, but like, I used to kind of keep a list of things that I wanted to do on my phone, but I just found that if I'd ever pick up my phone, I would just get distracted. So I've gone like more analog, and now I just write things out. I kind of just tick the list off as I go, and it feels cool to tick stuff off. And it's obviously like something that I do when I first wake up, when my mind's fresh, and that's always super helpful. So I've got a bunch of stuff done. One thing that we did today, which I'll mention here, we did a MyFitnessPal guide. So it's free on the website. Anyone who's looking at like implementing some sort of like macro tracking routine, and you want to learn the user interface and how to use MyFitnessPal, definitely check that out. But finish that off, uploaded it, and it's been a pretty productive day. So I will eat this and I'll see you at the gym. So I'm here at the Performance Center to do the second workout of today. I'm practicing some of the workouts that I've programmed. Man, this bird is killing me. I've tried to film this clip like 3 times, but I decided I've given up. He's just sitting up in that tree. Oh my God, please be quiet. So I'm gonna practice some of the workouts that I've programmed for the Performance Center, as I'll be coaching out of here full-time next year. Practicing what I put together just to make sure that it all goes smoothly. We're gonna be doing some overhead press, some handstand push-ups, and then there's a bit of an AMCAL workout that I'll do second, but it's time to get into it. There'll still be a lot of probably crap everywhere in the background as we're still kind of putting the gym together, but looks good so far. Let's get it. So it'll be a little bit of a change of plans because there's still so much stuff around. We're gonna just do like a general kind of shoulder hypertrophy workout, and then I'll finish off doing like an AMCAL a little bit later on. But got the Milwaukee speaker set up. It's time to rip in. So we'll do some overhead press, lateral raises, a couple of different anterior and rear delt movements. I'll kind of make it up as I go along because I hadn't really planned anything out, but let's get it. So as you notice, I'm doing unsupported overhead presses. I believe it's important to kind of alternate between back supported and unsupported dumbbell presses, just because they do work slightly different secondary muscle groups. Obviously with that slight lean back, you might incorporate a little bit more chest. When you're doing that back supported, you'll use a little bit more teres major, traps, and back. You can generally go a little bit heavier, but because it's my second workout and I've already done a fair bit of shoulder stuff and I want to go heavy, I want to do something different. So unsupported overhead press it is. So just so I stay out of the way while they're still obviously putting everything together, I'm going to do an EMOM and I can just sit in the corner and do this. We're going to do 20 wall balls, the 9 kilo ball, so standard male weight, and then 15 toe through rings, alternating EMOM. I'm going to try and just sit at like 70% and just crank out this 20 minutes of essentially cardio at the end of that shoulder session, where it's pretty much just all dumbbells. It's kind of just going along with it. I just wanted to hit like 5-6 exercises, do some shoulder isolation work, and then get this cardio in, this WOD piece in as a little test, and you know, for fun. Let's get it. Well, that is the workout done. So 20-minute EMOM, alternating between those wall balls and toe through rings. That was alright, it was pretty good. No, it wasn't as hard as maybe I thought it was going to be. And the reason for that is because I guess I programmed toe to bar. I don't want to do toe to bar because my hands are already fucked up. So I probably would have made it harder. But yeah, I'm glad that's done. Session over, time to head home and do a little bit more work. I've still got a couple of pages that I need to read to kind of hit my daily quota for reading. And then it'll be bed. Get up and pretty much do the same thing again, but I will see you back at home. Alright, so this is where we'll finish off the vlog for today. I'm going to get a couple more pages read out of a book that got gifted to me from a client, which is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, How to Lose Your Mind and Create a New One, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's been really good so far. I've only maybe read like 30 pages through, sorry. I'm only like 30 pages through, but I'll normally kind of alternate between like a self-dev book and then maybe something that's like a little bit more business or science. This is like a good combination of like self-development and science. So yeah, so far it's been good, but I kind of set a goal of trying to at minimum read 10 pages, and generally kind of what happens is I'll set like a minimum of 10, and if I'm feeling good, I'll normally just kind of keep cranking it out, but at least it kind of keeps a standard for me so I can keep reading and keep learning, and then, you know, doing that on top of some of the podcasts and stuff that I already listen to. But I'll pretty much get a little bit of reading done, plan some bits and bobs for tomorrow, and tie it off here. But I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed this vlog and what I touched on a little bit with kind of implementing meditation. Maybe that was something that might appeal to a few of the people who are watching this, and if it didn't, hopefully at least the kind of like goal setting I guess aspect of it appealed to you guys, and maybe there was something in lockdown or something in even some of the previous years that you know that you had implemented that have helped you, and you kind of let that slip, whether that was like following a diet, or it was exercising, or it was maintaining certain relationships with people in your life, or even if it was meditating like it was for me. But hopefully coming into 2022 you recognize that and then start to implement whatever that routine was back into your life, and hopefully it helps make a positive change. But that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.